Hello, folks. How are you doing? It's a jungle out there right now in terms of the world and what we're dealing with over the past few weeks. I've stayed quiet about politics on this channel. I try to all of the time, for good reason, and that's mainly because I want to keep my channel away from it. I don't want to be involved in that kind of thing. Even when I've been invited to do things to do with political stuff in the hobby, which would get me a lot of views, I've said no because I don't want it to be about that, right? But I think now is the time to discuss where 40k is in regards to the culture war as what's going on right now. Right now, if you don't know what the culture war is, that's so stupid a thing to say. Of course you know what the culture war is. It's the left and the right having a go at each other. Battle lines being drawn on social media, online, in the streets. I live in Liverpool, man. It's everywhere. We're even having debates on whether we can fly our own Union Jack on our own buildings, for God's sake, you know? So it's infecting everything right now. And of course, 40k being something that brings people joy, it's not allowed to exist on its own. It's got to be ruined by these political cretins on both sides who try and hijack it for their own means. As any of you know, who know me, will know that I'm in the centre of things, but I lean right. I lean conservative. Not Tory, no, that's not the same, okay? I've been... a lot of American friends have said that a lot of my leanings make me a Republican, I guess, if I'm in the US. You know, I'm all for small government. I'm all for being left alone. I'm all for my personal liberty and those of my friends and my family. In terms of family, I'm very conservative. You know, I'm very, you know, a close-knit family unit that is the centre of my life and home. That's who I am. You know, I was brought up in the north through very working class parents and working class grandparents who taught me all of my values, and a lot of the values I have been under attack for a while now in the UK, and it's not fun living as somebody who's undesired in your own country. It's not great, but that is where we are. So just so you know where I come from, okay, this is where I come from. But I did have a conversation with a friend of mine over the weekend, and this got me thinking on this topic and writing a few scripts. He is a real lefty, like he's way over there. Well, in my opinion, he is. Anyway, he's not really, but in my opinion, I like to tease him, say that he is. Anyway, he said to me about spectrums, the political spectrum. He said, "This is crazy. I used to be like centre, leaning a bit left, whereas now the entire thing's gone chunk. You know, the entire spectrum's shifted. So now he says I'm centre right." And I was like, I know, it's crazy, like, because he's, you know, he's not left enough anymore, and a lot of his friends have sort of they don't want to speak to him anymore. He's like, dude, I just want everyone to be all right. I want general health care. Like, what? Why am I over here with these guys now? You know, a lot of people are like that these days, and I've been left behind. And I will say, in terms of the UK, you know, I know a lot of my viewers are from the UK. There is no one political party that really defines what I hold dear. Certainly not Conservative, Labour or Reform, any of those dudes. They don't really hold what I hold dear. It's more about a slanging match more than anything else. And I'm tired of it. And it infects 40k at a base level, because I don't know whether you've seen a few weeks ago, of course you all saw that the unaliving over there of Charlie Kirk in the US. And I've tried not to say anything on this because it's not really hobby related or adjacent, but we've seen several high-ranking authors and employees of Games Workshop celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, right? Openly, gleefully celebrating his passing. This is a man who was violently killed in front of his own family, and if I've done a purge of my own social media and my own Steam list and my own Discord lists, if I've seen anybody celebrating that, gone. Immediately gone and blocked. I've blocked numbers from my phone. I don't text them, don't tell them why, I just block them. You know? I just don't want to know. I've cut those people out of my life because I don't need that around me. You're a dangerous person. If you do that, you're sick in the head and you're dangerous. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my daughter. I don't want you around my missus. Don't want you around my family or my friends. Go away. Okay? And if you did celebrate that online and you watch my videos, I can't stop you from watching my videos. But just so you know, the guy who does them, me, I give you tacit disapproval. I do not want you here. Okay? I don't want to cater to those kind of people. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you are on. That was wrong. Okay? That is what it is. I don't want to hear that was wrong, but don't want to hear that. Okay? No. No. The ram has touched the wall. No mercy. I'm just going to put that out there. All right. Cool. So, for me to see people like Mike Brooks, people like Tom, whatever his name is. Fun fact, I was actually given the evidence, a lot of the evidence that channels like Arch Warhammer have used and things like that to discuss this thing. I think Dr. Disaster used it as well on his channel. I did a bit of research on this to double check who was using it. I was sent this evidence a while ago about GW, and I never used it. I passed it on to the relevant people, but I never used it myself because I didn't want to I didn't want my channel to be that. I'm very cognizant of what Hobby Nightmares is. At the end of the day, it's to help people with their mental health. It's to help people have a laugh and to forget about things. And if this channel became a real bugbear political channel, that would be a downer, and then that would really take that away. And that's something I don't want to do, which is why I didn't cover it. But I was given the evidence. I have read it over, so thank you very much to the fellow who sent it, because good of you. Thank you for thinking of me. So yeah, me reading over that stuff, it's all out there, by the way. It's on their channels. It's on. I think Archer's used it. I know Dr. Disaster's used it. I know. Basically, put in any sort of Games Workshop controversy about Charlie Kirk, and you'll get dozens of videos with the same evidence saying the same stuff. Right? I think most Warhammer YouTubers were given this email. To be honest with you, it wasn't just me. So, reading through it was incredibly distressing. In fact, I think I've got it here. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but I'm just going to get it up for my own record so I can see what the hell's going on, what I'm talking about. Because seeing Games Workshop do things like this, and when I say Games Workshop, it's how do I put it? Seeing a company that you've liked for so long, having people there who outwardly celebrate the death of somebody, that's not something I can juxtapose in my mind. That is not something I can justify. And if I know this guy's been sacked, or at least put on leave, but he's not the only one. There are many people at Games Workshop who have come out on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on whatever they're on, and have said some vile things over the past few weeks. In 2020, we had obviously we had the big riots, the GF stuff and things like that, and it wasn't great. And Games Workshop came out with their infamous statement of "You will not be missed" and all that, and I did a video on it back then, and the cracks were starting to show. Okay, before then, 40k had really sort of sidestepped any political stuff. The reason why I did that moral police video, and a few people didn't get it, they thought I was taking some sort of right-wing stand or whatever. It wasn't that. I said, as soon as you do this, there's no getting out. As soon as Games Workshop, as soon as you throw your hat in the ring, that's it. That's it. You're done. And it's proven. Okay, it's been proven again and again and again. And I just... Yeah, who was this guy? Tom Mendelsohn. Yeah, Tom Mendelsohn, that was it. Sorry, I wanted to get the name because, sometimes it would come up and it wouldn't show me this thing. So, once Games Workshop throws its hat in the ring in terms of being political, that is it. It's finished, right? We are finished because it is now a slippery slope. Things are going to go further and further and further that way, and more and more people will have the the tacit permission to come out on social media and start saying things like this. Now, sometimes it's better to not know how the sausage is made, because I'm sure back in the day, back in the early 90s, there were Thatcherite people who were die-in-the-wool conservatives who didn't agree with my politics, who would be a part of Games Workshop, but I didn't know them because they were never online. There wasn't a Twitter. There wasn't anywhere for them to spout their insane opinions. And now, however, there is a place where you can actually go and see and view these things from people who work for Games Workshop, who write Games Workshop's books. Hello, Mike Brooks, you absolute piece of shit, right? They're there, and they don't want you here, okay? They don't want you here. These are people who would celebrate your passing because you don't hold the same political opinions as them. How do I know this? They've told us. They've told us. It's right there. They've said. Okay? It's not... No one's putting words in people's mouths. They've told us. Alright? So as far as I'm concerned, this is a game that is no longer worth saving. Now, I know a lot of people will say to me, but North, Arch is out there and other people are out there and they want Warhammer to be okay. They want things to be fine and they're political and they're fighting the good fight. No, dude. No. Alright? Those are... Even if it is from a good place of them wanting to have the hobby that was in the 90s back, that's not happening. And I refuse to give energy to something that just is futile. Because even if you get Warhammer back, you're still going to have to give money to Games Workshop. Yeah? Even if you get your Warhammer back, your 40k back. Let's say a miracle happens. It won't. Let's say a miracle happens. Unless they're taken over by somebody, with a more proviso-centrist view to make money, this is never going away. And even if they do a complete about-face saying, right, there's no more female custodians, blah, 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 this is still the company that did that to you. So do you trust them? Do you seriously trust them? I wouldn't. Not as far as I can throw them. So no, I would back away. I'd be, no, I'm done. I'm done. They've told me I'm not wanted. So I'll go elsewhere. And I think I'm tired, boss. I'm just tired. I'm tired of the culture war, man. I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of it affecting everything that I like. And by the way, this is not me saying just don't stand up to these people, because you should. In real life, I mean that. You should. These are sick people who don't want you around, okay? Stand up for yourself, stand up for your family, stand up for don't let people degrade you for just being a normal person. It's scary times right now, and the hobby should be an escape from that. It shouldn't be... The more we have these absolute cretins in there who write books and write lore that alienate us, the more that happy place, the more that sanctuary is taken away. And whilst I agree with the anger of people who want their hobby back, I get that. I completely get it. I am Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs. Okay? You tell me Games Workshop shouldn't do this, I'll sign that petition. Right? Tell me where to send a letter, I'll send it. I'll send an email. I have done, actually. I've sent emails saying I'm not happy with this, right? Not that they're going to listen to me, but hey. But what I won't do is play ball. I won't play ball. I'm not going to give this company money. And I'm not going to fight for a hobby that's told me it doesn't want me anymore. That would be a toxic relationship. So, another point I wanted to bring up before we go anywhere else is that you should do this yourself, in my opinion. All right? And I said this before. I've already recorded this video once today, but I've said it before. You should just do this yourself. Tabletop role-playing games recently, when 5th edition came out, it was well received, but then it wasn't. A lot of people didn't like it. And then when Wizards of the Coast and other companies started to go down the rampant liberal virtue signalling front, when they started to strip away all of the soul out of the game, when they started to cater to people who didn't like D&D in the first place, and then Critical Role came out and catered to those people as well, which is fine. Do you know what role players did? They sat back and they wrote the games they would want to play in. Games like Shadowdark, right? Games like Axe, Avenger Conqueror King system, right? Games like, well, from back in the day, Vampire Requiem, which was a response to Vampire the Masquerade, right? Tabletop role-playing games have always had this back and forth dialogue. Somebody will bring out a massive game that loses its way, and from that seed, many other games that cater to different audiences who liked that game will spring off. Do you know what people did back in the day with D&D? They made Pathfinder. Right? D&D lost its way, or started to lose its way in people's eyes, not politically, just in the game, and they made Pathfinder, and it sold like hotcakes. You know, made Paizo millions. Nowadays, politically, and into who they want to cater to, D&D has lost its way. So what do people do? They make their own games. They make Axe, right? Adventure Conqueror King system. They make Shadowdark. They make games like this, right? I have a few here, and if you want to do this, you can do this. You can do it. You can make your own RPG. You can make your own game. One sec. I've got them right here, right? Just a few off my shelf. Yokai Hunter Society, about killing demons in feudal Japan, or like 1700s Japan. Brilliant, really cool small book, really tiny book. You can write that in a weekend if you wanted to. We've got Cairn, fantastic book. Oh, come on, green screen. Fantastic book. I really enjoy it, Cairn. Nearly. There we go. Fantastic book, really small, really easy to learn, and I bet the guy wrote it over a couple of days. Got the bestiary for Cairn here, which is bigger. Still pretty cool though. There we go, Cairn bestiary. I know it's my camera. It's my. And I've got mine as well. Woo! Hey, Revenant. Dude, I wrote this in a few months. Right? You can do it. You can build it yourself. You can absolutely build it yourself. I'm doing it myself, okay? Here's the thing. When it comes to 40k, the reason why I'm so comfortable moving away and saying I'm not doing this anymore is, number one, I've already got an alternative and one-page rules that I enjoy just as much, if not more. And number two, I'm making my own version of 40k. I'm making the Exile edition, and you'll learn more about that on Thursday. All these videos are going to spring in together, right? So you can do it yourself. If you're a tabletop wargamer, look at previous editions of 40k. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th edition. Learn what you like, and then build communities of your friends playing the games that you like, and then gatekeep the hell out of those places. This is what we do here. If somebody comes in and says, I want to play 10th edition and bring in female custodians, I'm sorry, that's not what we do here. Here are a few groups that do this kind of thing, and we wish you all the best. Alright? Have the Horus Heresy old school mentality. This is what we do here. We have painted armies. That's what Horus Heresy players do. Listen, guy, we have painted armies here, and we don't do Primaris Marines because they're not in Horus Heresy. Right? That's called gatekeeping. That's what that is. That's what you do. You build it yourself, and you enjoy your hobby the way you want to enjoy it. Back in the day, I did a video called I think it's female custodians don't matter, right? Now, people back in the day when that came out, a few people who, again, they watch the video, they don't finish the video, and they leave a comment. Just smooth-brained behaviour. But a lot of people took my apathy as acceptance. I don't accept that female custody should be a thing. It's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing that is in the hobby to make a point and to make a stand and to annoy people. That's all it's there for, right? And so people can sway 40k in a political direction that they want it to be in, i.e. more to the left, more inclusive, more this and more that. But isn't it funny how when female guardsmen started coming out, no one said anything? Do I find that funny? That when Sisters of Battle got a massive update, no one said anything. It's almost like 40k fans aren't sexist, and that they are just very protective of their lore and the sanctity of this thing that they like. Just saying. If you're one of those people who thinks that just because somebody doesn't like female custodians that they are sexist, stop watching my content. Because you're watching a guy who thinks that. Right? I literally think there shouldn't be any female custodians. Because it doesn't make any sense in the law. They never signposted it. They never... well, that's it. They never signposted it. They've never built up to it. They've just told you that's how it is. That's how it is now. Get with it. But I love the fact that there's female guardsmen. Because of course there is. Humanity. Come on. And humanity means men and women. So, and everyone in between. Doesn't matter who you are. You're in the guards, son. What if I'm a they, not a he? You're still a son to me. Right? You don't mind if you're a woman or a man or whatever. You're in the guards, son. Right? You're fighting for the emperor now. Get in the basilisk. Sisters of Battle. One of my favourite armies. Like, literally. Like, just the coolest thing going, man. Awesome stuff. People's problem with female custodies was not that there were women in the custodies. Is that you trampled over decades worth of lore to make a political point, and that's not what we want from Warhammer 40,000. And since then, they've doubled down on this, and the response of people like Tom Mendelsohn and Mike Brooks, guys like that, what they've been caught saying on the internet publicly with Games Workshop in their profiles is abhorrent. And if that's the kind of people they're employing, even if one of them is now gone, I don't want to give them another penny or another moment of my time up here. I'll always do hobby nightmares about them because it's funny. I'll always talk to my friends who still work for the company because they're good people. And Games Workshop employs a lot of good people. Alright? But I'm not about to play ball. To give them money. To give them more time than I absolutely need to. So yeah, my apathy for female custodies was not acceptance. I was apathetic because I said, do your own thing. Pull out of Games Workshop. Or at least wear protection, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna jump into bed with Games Workshop, you need to wear two, if you know what I'm saying. But no, in all seriousness, my point was, in terms of female custodians, it doesn't matter. Do you know why? Because nothing Games Workshop says or does about 40k matters if you make it yourself. You don't need to make your own 40k like I am. You can literally go, I really liked 4th edition. Hey, bunch of friends, you want to do a little 4th edition campaign? Sure. And off you go. All of a sudden, Games Workshop are not involved in your hobby anymore because they don't support 4th edition. Or 5th, or 6th, or 7th, or 8th, or 9th. Or 1st, or 2nd, or 3rd, right? Just to complete the set. You can still stay in 40k. You can still do 40k. You could literally play 4th edition and say anything after the Fall of Cadia isn't canon in our club. You could literally just say, yeah, no, Gilliman never came back. We don't play with Primarchs. Right? And the Primara Space Marines in our canon are just an armor upgrade. And we use the old helmets. That you could do that. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing on this earth stopping you, mate. don't leave the hobby. Just leave Games Workshop. Just if they don't want you playing in their sandpit anymore, go play in another sandpit. Take the toys out because they're yours and go play in another sandpit. That's my point. That's why it doesn't deserve saving, because it doesn't need saving. They've told you they don't want you anymore, and I respect the people who are fighting the good fight and saying, listen, I'm gonna take this back. I'm gonna make 40k what it is again. For me, it will always be tainted. For me, it will always be tainted with this political jargon bullshit, and that's never going away. So, you know, I will remain with OPR. I will remain with my own edition of 40k, which I'm going to need help building with you guys. I can't wait for Thursday when I give you a rundown of what Exile Edition entails and what it looks like. I've played 3 games of it now, all on my own, so just with my own models to see if it works, and it does work. It works better than I thought it would, in fact. So I'll be sharing that on Thursday, and we'll be going through it. So, but you can do it. You can use mine. If you're into Horus Heresy, Macca's doing his own rules, or you can write your own, do your own thing. Go back to older editions of 40k. There are other games out there. Last week we started this series with me asking you what other games are out there for me to play, and I've gotten a load of really good answers from that. You know, like people telling me what games I can play the people there want my money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's refreshing to be given games where people go, yeah, man, I thank you for buying our stuff. It's like, yeah, cool, you know. So that is all I have to say on that. All right, a lot of people have asked me over the past few months what my opinion was on the Charlie Kirk thing, on what Games Workshop have been saying, and I felt disingenuous not saying anything, because at the end of the day, I started getting these messages on Patreon, and I don't want to fuck with those guys, because those guys pay me money. So as soon as they were asking me on there, it was time to do a video. Do you know what I mean? Because I try and sidestep these things every now and again. I hope I've not lost too many of you in terms of my political leanings and what I think, but if I have, go fuck yourself. That's how I think, and that's who I am. And I wish you all the best if that has ruined Northern Exile for you. But again, I don't think it should be a surprise to anybody that I think this way, I am this way, and I'm the kind of person who, in Warhammer 40,000, I identify with the Space Marines because I'm a fucking guy, and humanity's the best thing ever, and fuck everybody else, and that's who I am, right? I look at the 8-foot tall super soldier, and I'm like, yeah, that's literally me. That's literally me, dude. Like that's me, right? Notice I say the super soldier. I don't talk about the colour of his skin. I don't care what's underneath the armour. That's me. Right there, right? That's me, son. I'm kicking that Tyranid's head in. I'm ripping that demon's head off. That's me. That's 40k to me. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care what colour skin you have, what creed you are, what sex you are, what your orientation is. I don't care. You can identify as a helicopter for all I care. If you like 40k and you like Space Marines, or you are somebody who is a bit weird and likes to play as Dark Eldar or something else, I'm gonna think you're a bit weird, but you're in my game, son, and you're providing me with cannon fodder for my Marines. That's all right by me, right? Welcome to the hobby. Welcome to Wargaming. You deserve to be here because it's an awesome place where everybody should be and everybody should be having fun, right? And what you are, where you come from, doesn't matter. And any company that tells you that it does matter can get fucked. It's just a shame that the Disney in our Big 10 tier, the Disney in Wargaming, tells you that it actually does matter who you are and what you think, and because we don't want certain people around. Anybody who tells you you shouldn't be here because of how you think, or the opinions you have, or the colour of your skin, blah, 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 whatever it is, can get fucked. And that goes for everybody, whether you're white, black, whatever. Doesn't matter. right? It's just a shame Games Workshop seem to be saying this these days, unfortunately. You know, by employing these people and backing up their messages and not clarifying anything. When everybody asks them a question saying, listen, this guy's been saying heinous things about, Charlie Kirk with your business account, your Twitter account, he's got Games Workshop in his bio, he works for you. Is that the official company stance or what? Silence. Silence. Because they're terrified. They're cowards. They should come out and say, yeah, we don't condone that, and he's going to be suspended. All of them will be, actually. We don't condone that, and anybody who says that somebody should be unalived for their political opinions will be immediately suspended upon review. That's what should be. Public. They don't care enough about you to do that, though. They don't give a shit, right? The wingers go away. And I'm advising you to take their advice, because they've shown you who they are, and when people show you who they are, believe them. Just believe them. If Games Workshop don't want you there are lots of people out there who do. Don't try and save this company or this game. And by this game, I mean 10th edition onwards. You know what I mean? I mean like Games Workshop's version of 40k. Don't try and save it. There are so many good publishers and good games out there who would break their left arm off to get a customer just like you, as loyal as you, as passionate as you. And this should be bipartisan. This is not just for the right-leaning people out there. This is for everybody. If you're a lefty and you're sick of the political discourse in 40k, you're sick of the headache, leave. Vote with your wallet, do something else. You could even keep on buying Games Workshop products, man. I don't care. Just enjoy your hobby. Go play something else. Go play 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th edition. Go have fun. And if you really got turned on in the brain, give your money to people who actually want it. People who would value your custom. That's who you should be backing, alright? So, my Exile edition is my love letter to all of you. It's free. It will be free this Christmas. And I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really, really proud of it. I need some playtesters. That I will be asking for that on Thursday and giving you some details on how to get in touch with me to be a playtester. You will get you'll get the rules and you'll go and playtest it, essentially. We can do it together on Tabletop Simulator and all sorts of other things. I'd love to see people playing it in war game shops or in their homes. That would be awesome. And yeah, that's my response to what Games Workshop have been doing. I'll make it myself with blackjack and hookers. And that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I love you all long time. I will speak to you very, very, very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. No matter what part of the political spectrum you are on, you're welcome on my channel. Unless you wish death upon people, then, kindly see yourselves out. I don't care who you are, where you come from, you're welcome here. Get involved. And I hope you all enjoy Exile Edition. It will be here on, well, you'll be seeing it on Thursday. It won't be released on Thursday, but you'll be getting a very special preview video on Thursday. All right? All right. Love you loads. Be safe. All right? And just between you and me, go and turn your brain off for a bit. That's your homework. Go paint some models. Go write some rules. Go listen to some lore. Go and chill. That's your homework, alright? See you soon. Have a good one.